All right, music fans, welcome back. It is Dave, the Real Music Observer, observing real music in real time for real people just like you right there and just like me. 1980, I was sort of wet behind the ears. I was the guy who was pestering the local DJ who I became friends with. In fact, the guy's name, I definitely will say it here. I don't know if he's still around, but I'm assuming he's out there somewhere still doing radio. His name was Ken McGrail. And Ken worked at this radio station called KZ 104. And I remember one afternoon I was listening to him, and, I called him up, typical groupie that I was, and I'm like, hey, man, what's going on? He says, I got this song coming up this hour. It's going to blow your mind. And he threw it on, and it's this guy who's just got this, it's like Gino Vannelli kind of voice on steroids. And it's got this piano intro, and it's like dun, dun, dun. It's got this build up, and the lyrics, she's just 16 years old. Leave her alone. And it was just one of those moments where, this almost like this cascading sound in the song. It was genius, and if I could fly, I'd pick you up and take you into the night. I mean, who writes like this? Benny Mardones is probably one of the biggest missed opportunities the record industry has ever had. Now, of course, this is a mega song, and it charted in 1980, and thanks to Scott Shannon, it made a comeback in 1989. Curb Records signs this guy again, and, they repackage and throw it back out there. Of course, the original version was getting all the airplay, and the redone version, which is a little slower, doesn't have the same arrangements, and isn't as classy sounding, didn't do anything. Mardones was just a victim of some bad stuff. First, Polygram Records just did a disastrous, horrible job promoting the guy. The album that came out after the Never Run, Never Hide album, which contained Into the Night, was called Too Much to Lose, ironically. And it was just one of the worst albums you're going to listen to. First of all, the material was bad. Secondly, the production value was just, after this majestic song that's all over radio and is ear candy and is just beautiful and all the arrangements are just fantastic. And then you just throw this guy a bomb, and look, you got this. You know what you've got, right? It's kind of like what happened to Curtis Stigers, early 1990s, and I Wonder Why comes out. And you're thinking, oh, who needs Michael Bolton? We got Curtis Stigers. We got saxophones. And then nothing. It just faded, gone. I mean, the guy is still out there performing and recording, and you wouldn't know it. I mean, he had one hit. Now, the difference, though, between him and Benny Mardones is that Benny hit twice with the same song in 80 and 89. Very unusual. I think the band Sheriff originally released their song When I'm With You back in 1980, much like the Benny Mardones situation, and then it recharts and goes all the way to number one with the same version, just repackaged in 1985. So the problem, though, with Benny, who had this amazing voice. By the way, Benny Mardones, for a number of years, was called The Voice, believe it or not. And you could see why. I mean, you could make an argument. Maybe not, he's like, just because of the body of work, he's not the greatest vocalist of all time or anything, but he could be your favorite singer. And I would say, okay, that's a decent choice, because the guy just kills it on this one song. And he's a great singer. The 89 album on Curb, which is a country label, or was at the time, just, again, mismanaged, underpromoted, wrong label. They took the Scott Shannon thing and they tried to jump on it and sign him, and it didn't go anywhere. If there was a follow-up single, our station didn't play it. Look, it's just a tragedy. He'll be forever known for this one song. He had Just an amazing voice, and it's one of those things, though, when you hear it on the radio, you typically stop what you're doing and you listen and you sing. You know the words, you know the bridge, you know this thing that he does at the end where he's just kind of almost like this Tarzan kind of pleading, screaming vocal. And women, let's be honest, women melt. Then this song comes on, I've been around, and women are just like, oh, it's just, and it is. It's even for me. I'm listening to it going, holy crap, Batman, that guy can really sing. And no matter how many times I've heard the song, and I heard it the first day it was released, thanks to my DJ friend, and even today I hear it and I go, wow, it's just, and they couldn't, this was like, lightning in a bottle. They couldn't contain it. It was one shot. It was one amazing hit. And that's why Benny Mardones, Into the Night, is my favorite all-time one-hit wonder. I'm Dave, and this is the Real Music Observer. I'll be back observing more real music in real time for real people just like you and just like me. And just like Benny. He's still around, 71 years old. Talk to you soon.